Hey Soul Fam, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is me, Emily the Mystic, with my first video of 2024. I am so excited, pumped, all of the above for another incredible year together here on this channel and in my business, Emily the Mystic. And I'm just so excited that you're here to start the new year off with me in a powerful way. Today in this video, I'm going to be diving into some of my reflections from the past year, from 2023. What did I learn as a six-figure spiritual business owner? What did I discern and uncover in my personal life, in business? What worked for me? What didn't work for me? So that I can hopefully inspire you and motivate you with your dreams and goals this year to help you learn from my mistakes and to help you learn from what I discovered this year so that maybe you can save yourself some time and some effort and perhaps start your year off in a way that feels like you know where you're going. So I hope this video helps you with all of the above and so much more. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am an Akashic Records expert, consultant, and teacher. I'm a galactic channel. I channel all sorts of high dimensional energy from the spirit world in an effort to help you understand yourself better and understand your soul better and why you came to this planet at this time. And so a lot of my work and what I uncover and what we'll be kind of diving into in this video as well is because I understand that a big part of my purpose is studying the soul and getting to know the soul better. How can I use myself as a bit of a test subject and learning more about myself and my own soul so that I can help you and help my clients and help my whole audience understand more about why you're here at this time on this planet. And I'm really looking forward to 2024. I must say, I have a really good feeling about this year. I know there's going to be a lot of change. We're going to see a lot of things really shaken up here on this planet, but it's needed. Anything that is not in alignment with being in a higher frequency, higher vibration must go. And so we're really going to see that continue to unfold this year. If you haven't already, make sure you go watch my 2024 energy update predictions forecast video. There's a lot of really interesting information in there. One of my favorite videos I've created to this date, so make sure you check that out. It will teach you a lot about what to expect so that you can, not that we want to let the world influence us, and you're going to hear that's one of my big lessons this year is how not to do that, but we can use the collective energy and our understanding of what's kind of going on at a collective level to help us make better decisions and choices so that, again, we're not so affected by it. And we can really kind of operate in our own lane and really focus on ourselves and where we're going so that we can, again, know what to expect and with that information be better focused on what's on our own path. So I hope that video helps you do that. I also highly recommend that you go check out my How I Am Planning for 2023 video. I filmed that video at the beginning of last year, and there is so much good stuff in there. I am still doing everything that I shared in that video to help me prepare for this year. It definitely worked. It definitely helped me have a really great year in 2023. So I really highly recommend that you go check out some of those tips and tricks that I share, because again, that's what I'm doing for this year. And instead of me refilming it all over again, because the information is still valid, I will leave a link for that video below so that you can check that out if you have not done any 2024 intention setting yet. So make sure you go look at that now. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing two different things. I'm going to be talking about my reflections from 2023, what I learned, and so on and so forth, as well as some of my intentions for 2024, my word of the year for 2024, and kind of what I am looking forward to this year, both personally and professionally. So with all of that in mind, grab yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee or a nice beverage, get yourself a cozy blanket as you are in for some wonderful Emily the Mystic storytelling, and I can't wait to start sharing my adventures from 2023 with you. So with all of that in mind, one of the big tools that I use to help me personally and also collectively understand what's going to be going on energetically during the course of the year is numerology. So I take a look at what the collective number of the year is, and you'll learn more about that if you watch the 2024 video. I also look at my own personal number of the year, and again, if you watch the 2024 video, you can learn how to calculate this. So I'm not going to go into it in this video, but basically you add up the digits of your birth date and the current year, and you reduce all of the numbers down to one single digit between 1 through 9. So we all go through 9-year cycles in terms of numerology. And so for me in 2023, my number of the year was 1. I was starting off a very brand new, very beginning cycle, the first year of a 9-year cycle. So in 2023, I sort of had this expectation going into the year that there was going to be a ton of earth-breaking, groundbreaking change. Because one, starting off a new cycle, the number 1 in numerology really represents change, new beginnings, rebirth, starting things fresh, starting things new. So again, I had sort of this preconceived idea that I was going to have all of this new stuff come into my life and, all of these huge life changes that I was, looking forward to. I was thinking about moving at the beginning of the year and just really had my sights set on a lot of change. And that's not really what happened. The universe had other plans for me. And what I really realized, and I know this is something that I preach to you, my audience, all of the time, but something that I'm still learning on, I'm still working on embodying and getting comfortable with, is anything that we want to see reflected externally, we have to see the shifts internally first. We have to do the inner work first. And of course, I know this. You know this. I talk about this all the time here on my channel and on Instagram and to my clients and my various mentorships. We have to do the internal work first. And so I had this, again, idea that 2023 was going to bring me all of these big external things happening, new house, new car, all of these different things. And what I needed to really focus on and ground into was making those shifts internally first. So for me, the 1 year, and maybe you're currently in a number 1 year in terms of your own numerology. Maybe you're going into your 1 year soon. If you are, for me, the 1 year was really great, and it really helped me anchor into me. It was a year focused on me, myself, and I, and a lot of internal work and internal shifts and internal healing, and really learning more about me and who I am and getting to know myself better so that those internal shifts again can start really being reflected for me in my external world. And I really had to go through that in my business in a big way, really grounding into what do I want this business to look like? How can it best support me and my lifestyle and the life that I want to live? And how can I stop focusing on everybody else's methods, what everyone else is telling me to do, what the psychics that I used to go to see, what they would tell me to do, to stop focusing on other people's opinions, ignore all of that, and really come back to center. So this year for me was all about just that, recentering, refocusing, coming back into myself, and ultimately really learning to trust myself more. I thought I had mastered that at the end of 2022 and really needed to go through that again, all of that again, and then some in 2023. And not just trust myself, but really learn how to trust my spirit guide team even more, the universe to support me, God to support me, and really lean into, okay, this is me, this is what I'm here to do, this is my mission and purpose. And can I really focus on that and focus on myself and not focus so much on others and also what others are telling me to do, how others are telling me to live my life. So again, for me, this number one year in terms of numerology was really focused on the self. And it's really interesting because I know I needed to go through that as I'm getting ready for 2024, which is numerology happens in linear order. This is my year 2. So because this is my year focused on the number 2, this is going to be a year focused on relationships, on cultivating community, on cultivating connections with others. And so I had to go through some lessons around learning what not to follow from other people, how to tune out messages from others, to focus on me, to focus on my work, to focus on my business, so that I can be really sharing messages with you from a more empowered and more authentic place. That way, I really became a clear channel in 2023. And that way, again, I can really see the reward, reap the rewards, and see the impact of that on my business, on how much my social media channels have grown over the course of the last year, because everything is so authentically me. Not that it wasn't before, but also I think I really learned a lot about my own methods this year, my own ways of discerning information, my own channeling, my own connections to the spirit realm, my own spirit guide team, and even more nuanced information about what my mission and purpose is, so that I can really take that and apply it in a business sense and allow that to help me reap the rewards in other ways. One of the biggest things that I learned this year was, Emily, this is what you are here to do. This is your purpose. This is your mission. You chose this. And because of that, you are always going to be supported. Physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, you're always supported. And I don't think I really believed that at the beginning of 2023. I think I had a lot of blocks and resistance around letting God source, letting the universe, letting my guides support me, and also letting other things support me. People in my personal life, money specifically, my home, all of that. I really leaned in and let all of the things that I already have here to support me. Versus my perspective at the beginning of 2023 was, I'm ready for new things and change and a new house and all of these different things. But I wasn't really seeing that my current house wanted to support me. I wasn't really seeing where I had opportunities to grow with what I have and the abundance that I have in my life now. This 2023 really helped me lean into an abundance mindset in so many huge ways, and really seeing, okay, my life is so abundant and I am always supported, again, in all the ways that I mentioned. So therefore, I can let go of some of the stress and anxiety and pressure that I'm putting on myself to get it right, to be perfect, to run my business in the most perfect way according to what the business coaches and other people out there are telling me that I need to do it. No, I'm here to be a new paradigm, new earth leader. And in order to do that, I have to blaze my own trail. So another one of my huge lessons this year was really, again, calling all of my energy back to myself, and unfortunately having to say goodbye to some of the mentors that really were a big part of my journey over the last few years with building this spiritual business. I had really wonderful, close relationships with a lot of different mentors, and also that kind of left my energy fragmented with preaching from the perspective and the intention of what I was told or taught from others. And you hear how my voice is kind of getting robotic as I say that. So yes, what I was sharing, yes, what I was doing in my business was absolutely from an authentic place. And also I was heavily influenced by a lot of the mentors that I worked with. And there is a place and a time for that. I mean, I'm a mentor myself. I have a whole roster of one-on-one private clients, right? So mentorship is incredibly important and is something that helped me get to where I am today. And also, because I worked so heavily with mentors for years, I needed to learn how to call my power back and take what I had learned, apply it to my life, actually embody what I had learned, and also figure out my own way of doing things. And that feels so good to be able to say that I've been to be able to get there. So this year for me was really about calling my power back and seeing where I was letting myself get pulled away or pulled into all of these tangents and directions because of what mentors wanted me to do or what they thought I should focus on or what they were doing or what worked for them, and realizing no, none of those silly things that I was taught by business coaches over the years, a lot of those methods or systems just don't work for me. They don't work for my business. And so I can now with confidence say I can let a lot of that go, take on what did work, keep that going, but also say goodbye to the rest. So if that's you, if you are kind of in a place where you feel like you've been really heavily influenced by different mentors over the years, you may need to take some time away from that to develop your own systems, to develop your own point of view, to develop your own lens on things. It can be very frustrating for me as a spiritual mentor to go on Instagram or whatever social media app and see people just regurgitate what their manifestation techniques or what they've learned from other people, but they haven't fully embodied themselves. And of course, if you're operating in your business from a place where it's not authentic because you're just repurposing what everybody else is doing, or you're sharing what your mentor is talking about, you're probably not going to attract your soul family clients. You're probably not going to sell much of your services in the first place. So for me, really calling back my power around those things, and again, leaning into myself as being a clear channel, someone that I can trust. I can trust me first always. That was such a game changer for me, and something that I know is, not just going to be a theme in 2023, but is definitely going to be a lifelong journey as I continue to evolve into deeper levels of that. So it's going to be so fun to see how that foundation that I laid in 2023 helps create new things this year, and helps really, again, I have such a strong foundation, not just in business, but also personally with my own personal practices and what I focus on and how I take care of myself and my body, that I know is going to help reap huge rewards as I can keep up the consistency around some of those practices, some of those tools. So another huge lesson for me was really learning how to regulate my nervous system, my body, and again, really laying a foundation where I have practices that I do daily. Even on weekends, even on holidays, even on days when I feel like I don't want to do anything, I still have practices that I return to. For example, I do daily breath work first thing in the morning. I do some daily journaling first thing in the morning. I write a manifestation list for myself at the beginning of every month. I make sure to exercise several times a week in a way that feels good to me. I make sure to make time for rest daily, and also weekly. If I have to catch up on sleep, I definitely always make time for it. I always make sure to clear my energy after client sessions and always at the end of the day. to make sure that, again, I am in my own energy without carrying other people's stuff. So here's why this is so important. This is why this is so important. And because I work with a lot of my one-on-one clients on this specifically, you may want to perk your ears up around this because it's a big thing, especially for us as women. Is one of the biggest realizations that I have made this year, and it's something I haven't still fully gotten yet. I'm still working on it. I'm still healing it. I'm still in progress. I'm a human being just like you are. One of the biggest shifts I'm working on making is letting go of where I tie my self-worth to helping others, to supporting other people, to taking care of other people, to taking the responsibility for other people. Codependency, in other words, and shifting out of that old way of being and into a new way of being where I am loved, I am worthy, just for being me, just for being here, just for being alive. Yes, I get to channel galactic energy and share messages with you, and I get to do really cool Akashic Records readings and all of these different things in my business that are so fun and make a living from it. And also, that doesn't define me and who I am. For so long, and based on my programming and conditioning from childhood, I was taught that in order to receive love, I had to contribute to the household. I had to do chores. I had to help my parents with different things. I felt, in my perspective, felt like the love I received was based on my performance, on what I was able to achieve, what I was able to do. Maybe you have felt that way as well, especially if you are a high achiever, a high performer, somebody who was really praised as a child for getting good grades, being perfect, looking perfect, trying to impress other people. And maybe your family system, your family unit was raised on how can we make sure that we look good as a family and we're doing all the right things and we're Christian people and aren't we amazing because we're holier than thou and therefore we want other people to look at us and see us that way, like we are such good people, right? While also simultaneously judging others for not being good enough or for being wrong or weird or different. So for me, doing a lot of healing around all of that and seeing myself really as, wow, I am a divine extension of God's source energy. It's incredible that I'm here. Wow, what a gift. I'm a miracle. Like just for being here, just for being me. It's not about what I do. It's not about how I contribute to society. It's not about the legacy. Fundamentally, foundationally, I am worthy and loved just for being here. And that is good enough. And that is enough. Whew. And so that shift for me has taken time. It's taken years to let go of some of those old ways of being. I still catch myself now with some of my private one-on-one clients feeling like I have to take responsibility for their lives and helping them change things. When the role of being a mentor is to guide. It's to help show them the path, but ultimately they have to decide and choose what they're going to do on their path and how they're going to take action. It's not up to me to decide that. So taking some of the pressure off, helping kind of redirect my energy a bit. Because it's really hard to grow a business if you're so focused and siloed on taking responsibility for your clients. You can't do it all. So if that's you, maybe you're a spiritual business owner or starting a business and you are exhausted from the work that you do because you feel like it's up to you to make sure that your clients get the best result possible. I want to help shift your perspective a bit to remind you that you are a guide. You give them the tools. You help reflect back to them what's going on. You help them see their blind spots, but also you can't do the work for them. And when you make the shift into, I am worthy and deserving just for being here, just for being alive, you can take the weight and the pressure off of yourself for taking on everybody else's stuff. I'm sure you're very empathic. And so as an empath, you're probably naturally wanting to take on other people's stuff because it makes you feel like you're needed. It makes you feel like you have a purpose. But again, your purpose is not to do for others. Your purpose is to be you. So that's one massive thing that I've really been working on this year. And again, this is a lifelong journey. I know that's part of what my soul really came here to master. And I am definitely, I'm definitely leveling up in that, but I am definitely not a master in that as of today. But I can still really provide a perspective shift for you to help you start to see yourself differently and start to kind of let go of some of those people-pleasing behaviors or ways that you are letting other people leech your energy or pull or tug on your energy so that you can set better boundaries and really, again, focus on you more this year. So for me, really setting boundaries with family was a huge part of my journey this year. And it's not easy because when you make such a big shift like the one I've been talking about, you show up differently just naturally in your interactions with people. And they notice. And they're like, well, wait a second. What do you mean that you won't do this thing over here? Because you used to do that for me. So why not now? And then it's up to you to either sink back into your old pattern or to take on a new role, to take on a new version of yourself who says no to that thing that they're asking you to do, who communicates their needs and tells your family member, sorry, that's not something available to me right now, or I can't do that for you. Or I know I used to do that, but I just don't have the capacity for that right now. So that's definitely been a huge shift for me, and something, again, that I will continue to work on more and more and more over the coming weeks, and maybe even the next year, maybe several years. Okay. And one thing that really has helped me with that this year is I have spent a lot of time and practice diving more deeply into the darker side of spirituality to understand how our energetic field can be influenced by parasitic entities, vampiric spirits, and energies that manipulate you and your consciousness because of your old patterns and your programming and conditioning. And so I started off this year with a ton of anxiety, a ton of stress. What I didn't know was that I had some stuff going on in my energy field, some attachments from family members, some imprints in my auric field that were not serving me, that was making me feel worse and was perpetuating old patterns of anxiety because I had put so much pressure on myself for all of the reasons I just shared with you. And so, yes, doing the healing work and the shadow work is important, but it's also important to release and let go of the negative energies, entities, vampiric spirits, etc., that are, again, perpetuating the patterns that you have in your life. If there is, for example, a heavy negative emotion that just you can't seem to shake, like you're angry all of the time, or you've had a history of depression or depressive episodes for months or years, and no matter what you do, you can't shake it, it's likely that there is some sort of malevolent negative spirit or entity that is influencing your auric field and wants you to stay in that emotion, wants you to stay in that lower vibrational energy, because that's how they feed from you. And letting that stuff go for me was life-changing this year. I clear my energy of these different sorts of energies and spirits daily, weekly at least, especially twice a day if I'm staying with family members. And that has made such a big change because, again, I get to show up in my own energy without the stuff in my field that I had taken on from other people. And I feel so much lighter starting this year off because I don't have those influences that are manipulating my consciousness, that are perpetuating negative thought patterns, that are making me feel bad or guilty or wrong or shameful for things that are out of my control or just so small on the spectrum of importance in life. So clearing my energy has been so incredible for that. And if my story is sounding similar to you, or there are bells going off in your head and you're like, oh my God, I need that, I do entity work and entity clearing. So I will leave a link for that below. Just kind of getting some of that stuff out of your field may be a game changer for you this year, at least so you can start. Because sort of the way that I see it is when your energy field is clear, it's so much easier for you to become a vibrational match for the things that you want to manifest. It's so much easier for you to do the inner work, to do the shadow work, because there's nothing that is keeping you stuck. Entities kind of create a bit of a rubber band effect. So let's imagine that you have a rubber band wrapped around your stomach. The entities pull you back into those old patterns. So just when you think you've gotten far enough and you've healed something, all of a sudden you have a setback and you get pulled back into your old state of being. And you're like, wait a second, I did all of this work. I feel like I should feel different, and you don't. Again, the entities can pull you back into that old frequency very easily. I have seen clients stay stuck in old stuff for years because they haven't focused on or haven't worked with a mentor who has the ability to help them with that. So that in and of itself was such a game changer for me this year. And I would love to support you in that as well, if you feel like that is something that would really help you. And finally, just learning to ground, like be so much more grounded into my body, learning to love my body even more and what it has the capacity to do for me, how it's sort of my anchor into this physical realm, and learning to love the combination of the fifth dimensional, high dimensional spiritual work, while also enjoying the third dimensional realm of the human world. I love to be able to focus on both because I am human, right? And part of my purpose is to help you explore your humanity even more. So really grounding into that this year was absolutely huge for me. And now I get to look forward to 2024 with so much more joy, knowing that 2023 helped me create, again, such a firm foundation for my own personal growth, so that I have the tools now that no matter what shifts for me in my life or what happens that is out of my control, I can not let the external world get to me so much like it used to, and really call my energy back to me and focus on, okay, how's Emily feeling? How is she today? What does she need? How can I support her? I support myself. And how can I ask my guides for that? Knowing that I'm always going to be supported. Knowing that ultimately it's all going to work out in my favor. Knowing that ultimately I can fully trust and surrender to this experience that is the dance of life. No matter what life happens to bring my way. And so with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about my focuses and intentions for 2024. So my word of the year in 2024 is magic. Magic, magic, magic. My word of the year in 2023 was magnetism. And I definitely feel like I created a lot of magnetism in 2023 because of everything that I just said. And I have seen my platforms become more visible. I've seen more people find me because of everything that I just shared. And that has been so cool to witness. So creating that momentum is really going to help guide me into 2024, where my word of the year is magic. Knowing that, okay, I've really created and found success in the third dimensional realm. How can life get even better than it is now? How can I really lean into having more, living in an overflow of fun and joy and abundance in so many different areas of my life, and letting go of being in survival mode, really leaning into thriving this year, and knowing that there is so much magic around me that can help me anchor into that, from the help of my spirit guide team, from doing this work, and just even being alive. Again, leaning into the everyday magic. This year is going to be huge. So I can't wait to see how that unfolds and how I'm going to be doing that. I am sure you know, especially if you've been watching my work for a while, that I am teaching my own system of the Akashic Records this year. So magic will definitely be a part of that process. I'm also teaching a class on light language later this month in January. So I'm so excited for that. And I know that magic is going to be a huge part of both of those things. I also will be working more personally with the fairy realm. And one of my big goals this year is to grow in connection to the higher dimensional fairy realms, learn how to work with those guides around topics like manifestation and magic, and making life even better than it possibly could be, because the fairies are experts in that. So I'm going to be leaning into that journey, as well as, of course, working with my galactic guides for all of the above. And finally, one of my areas of discovery this year is leaning more into my Celtic lineage. So there is a whole realm in spirituality focused on Celtic study and working with your Celtic DNA, your Celtic energy. And I cannot wait to work more deeply with some of my Celtic Ascended Master guides and understand more how that piece of my work is going to be unfolding this year. So that's going to be really cool to see. I can't wait for you to be on that journey with me. More to come on that. There will definitely be more in-person experiences with Emily the Mystic this year, so be on the lookout for those. And I am very excited to announce that I will be launching an Emily the Mystic podcast, so that you can have some of these energy updates like this one in an audio format, not just a video format. So I can't wait, because the Emily the Mystic show is coming your way very soon. And I will be featuring not just more content from me, but also interviews from incredible people who are from all spectrums of the spiritual map and who focus on different things in the spiritual realm, so that you can get a really well-rounded perspective on what it means to be a spiritual person in today's world, and how you can learn from different perspectives to ultimately help you discover who you are authentically, so that you can make decisions and choices from being your most authentic self. And again, you can call your power back, because the purpose of listening to other people's stories is to help you, again, live your life in a way that is more authentic to you, by discovering pieces of yourself and helping put that puzzle together of who you are as an authentic soul, by learning from others who are doing the thing, who are doing their own thing, who are living their most authentic life. So come make magic with me in new ways this year. I can't wait to see how this journey unfolds. I hope this video provided you with a ton of new perspectives and a new way of looking at yourself as we head into this year. Again, make sure you check out the videos that I mentioned, my 2024 energy forecast, as well as my how I am planning for the new year video to give you some tactical tips and tricks for setting your new year off right. Otherwise, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content just like this, and don't forget to join my membership where we meet twice a month, every single month, on a different topic to help you anchor into a whole new level of your spiritual journey. So I'm sending you so much love and wishes for 2024, and I will see you next week in next week's video. Bye for now.